I'm Lisa. I have found over the last, how old am I? 5 or 6 years, that more and more often I wake up not in pain. I have a pretty good routine of things that I do to make that true for myself, but just achy. And just that combination of maybe I slept in a weird position, things are just tight. And before I go about my day, I am able to show up a lot happier, a lot friendlier if I give myself 5 or 10 minutes to do something about that. So I'm going to show you what I do. I got my pajamas on. Let's get started. So if I wake up, I would know right away I'm in bed. My back is tight. I feel it, especially my low back. That's where my instabilities tend to be. They creep up. I start right in bed. You don't have to be in bed to do this. I do this with some of my clients before we work out. Their low backs are real tender. I got some of these from my friend Natalia, who is a brilliant physical therapist and specializes in the pelvic floor. So what I will do, let's make sure you can see me, is I'm lying down, right? I'm in bed. You can have a pillow here, and it won't cause any problems. And I start just by hugging my knees into my chest. A lot of times the low back gets achy because it's in a overly extended position. So bringing the knees in just puts a little bit of gentle flexion into it. Can add a little rocking side to side. And I tend to stay here for about 4 or 5 breaths. I'm taking as slow, as deep of an inhale as I can, focusing on feeling that breath move into the back of my ribs and even down into my low back. So I'm getting a stretch, not just from the position that I'm in, but from the inside as well. I'm using my inhale to expand that area and then let it relax. After 4 or 5 breaths, I'm letting one leg go, keeping the other one in. If your back or your hips are tight enough, like this may not feel great to have this leg straight. It can be bent, no problem with that. And then I repeat the same thing. Take 4 or 5 breaths here. A lot of times our body signals pain or stiffness, things like that, and it's really just asking for attention. So when we slow down and breathe and feel what's going on, sometimes that simple act alone can bring some ease or give you some new awareness of where exactly that is coming from. After I've been here, I'm going to slide my other foot back in and cross my right ankle over that thigh. So very similar to a figure 4 stretch, except here, rather than trying to push this knee out, I'm trying to draw it in, right? The tendency here is to want to lift my glute up off the floor and really pull that knee over. But what I'm trying to do is keep my butt anchored. At the same time, I'm pushing into my thigh to bring the knee this way. And where I feel it on that lifted leg is right in here. So if you have tight low back, tight hips, tight glutes, this will feel really nice. Same thing, 4 or 5 breaths here. And then I'll bring both feet down, might hug them both in again, and then switch. Usually one side will feel a little different than the other. Bring it over. So here you can see a little bit more. I'm trying to keep myself rooted. Pull that knee across, and I'm feeling it down through here. It's a little deeper stretch. Right? I'm actually getting at some of the deeper muscles beyond what you see on the outside that actually are in the pelvic floor. Right. And then if I'm feeling a little tight, I might add in a twist. Right, I'm gonna keep both knees together. My back likes that better. If your back is real tender or unstable like mine is, it might also prefer this. You can also do it one knee at a time coming over. For me, it doesn't feel right. So I'm sending both knees over. I want them to rest. You get a nice shot of my butt. I want both knees down. And then depending how much flexibility I have is going to determine where the shoulder goes. I can stay here and just let that shoulder drop back. I can reach my arm out, or I can begin to let that shoulder roll back towards the floor. What you might find is that this top knee wants to start sliding back, and that is a sign that your pelvis is rotating back. We don't want to do that because then we lose the stretch. So feel for keeping both knees stacked in line, and that'll get the stretch where we want it. And slowly rolling onto my back, going the other side. Your shoulder tightness will also play into where this arm can go. If the shoulder doesn't like it, you can rest the arm. And just think about rotating your chest instead. I'm breathing. In this case, I'm trying to send my breath right here because that's where I really feel this in my back. I'm going to roll back. And then I'm getting up out of bed. So that's if I'm feeling extra tender and sore. My go-to that I do pretty much every day while the kids are doing lunches and all the rest of it is I have a ball. This is from Rad. It's kind of like a really dense silicone. Rad makes all kinds of fun things, rollers, balls. I have another of theirs that I'm going to show you in a minute. And this is a double ball, right? Single, double. These blue ones are a little smaller than a tennis ball individually, and this one's maybe a little bigger than like a lacrosse ball. Pretty dense. I like them a little bit firmer. You can use softer things. Tennis balls work in a pinch, but they're not great because when you push on them, they crush. But pinky balls, and I'll put links for everything in the comments. So if you see something, you like it, you want to try it, click on the link and it will shoot you to an Amazon page where you can find it because that's where we get everything, right? The larger, the softer. So the larger something is, the more it's going to be about general mobilization. When you get into smaller things, it's about more specific spots. You can think of that kind of like a massage. When somebody does like a big stroking motion, they're trying to release tension all along the muscle, versus a knuckle, we're really trying to get at a single point. And I'm using these to massage as well as to create mobility. And you'll see what I mean in a minute. Other tool, this is especially great if your back is more tender and is not going to appreciate this sort of tension, is the good old-fashioned foam roller. This one is from OPTP, and it is their kind of medium firm density. It's hard, I can't crush it. It's not as hard as they make them. It's also not as soft. For this purpose, having a little firmer roller works. You can do it with a softer one, but you're not going to get the same effect. So I'm doing three things, all meant to ease tension in my glutes, my low back, and my mid back. Those things all work together. So sometimes it shows up as low back pain, but if something's really tight in your glutes, it will pull on the low back. If something's really tight in your mid back and it's not moving, well, you still have to move in your day. So it's going to get that movement from somewhere. And our low back is usually where it goes, especially if that is a tender spot. So first one I'm going to do is I'm going to the wall. I'm going to adjust this. We'll see if you can see it. Let me know. But here's a pretty good spot. Get a little tour of my house. We have lots of candles everywhere. Okay, so I have my little green ball. You might have a little bigger ball. A softer ball is going to feel more gentle. Harder balls are going to again feel like a knuckle. I'm using the wall because this is easier on my body than it is trying to be down on the floor and protect my neck and all the rest of it. So I'm going 2 spots. I'm starting with my butt. All right. The way my spine comes down, it comes in And you've got a big bone at the bottom called your sacrum. It's right about here. At the end of that is your tailbone. So I am massaging everything that attaches to my sacrum all the way out, up, and down. So I am holding that ball between the wall and my body, and I'm just moving it. I'm rolling side to side, up and down. You can put on music, make this a little dance. Woo. And what you will feel in general is it'll probably feel a little tight. It should feel nice. If something is really tight, if you're feeling some pulling back there, you'll likely find a spot that feels like you just rolled over a bruise. It may not actually be there, but that's something that's very tight. It's gripping on for dear life. If you find one of those spots, you can pause and start that breath again. Most of the tension our body holds is because of neurological reasons, right? We're trying to protect ourselves. We are trying to not push past our limits. We're trying to keep our body safe. So when something starts to feel like it's overstretched or it's unstable, our body says, okay, we've got a grip. So when you go into a stretch, when you're trying to do too much, too fast, it is going to, oh my gosh, hey, Uncle Scott, online from California. I love it. I wish I could see you. When you go too fast, you'll know it because you stop breathing. You go, oh, it happens a lot, especially with hamstring stretches. When we do that, our body goes, oh gosh, we're going to tear something. Hold on tighter. So if you've ever felt tight and you stretch and you stretch and you stretch every day and it's not changing, you're going too fast, too far. So we got to slow it down. So anytime you stop and breathe, right, I've got that ball there. I'm breathing the same way I would to calm myself down. All right, because what I'm trying to do is to get my brain to recognize that it's okay. I'm breathing like it's okay. I'm hanging out here, and then I'm waiting for something to change. All right, and what you'll notice is after a few breaths, it might start to feel less. I won't do it again. I always do both sides. Most people will say like, oh, it's my right side. But sometimes what happens is one side is really tight and it doesn't move. So the side that is moving is actually taking the abuse. So it's good to do both, right? We're all parts are connected. So I'm going all over there again, up and down, all around. And now I'm going to move up to my spine. So my spine is right here in the middle. I'm not rolling across that. It will not feel good. But along the sides of it are a band of muscles. If you're like me, they're probably pretty ropey and tight. I'm going to put the ball there. And then I'm going to use my legs to roll that ball up and down my back. If I find a good spot, I'm going to pause and hold it there and then rotate my body to bring that ball slightly side to side. Again, not going on my spine. If you hit it, you're going to know it's not going to feel great. So again, I'm pinching it there against the wall. The closer I stand to the wall, the less pressure I can use to push myself into it. So it's going to be a little more gentle. If I step out a little bit, I can lean more into it and I control the pressure here. So I'm just going up and down. That feels pretty good. So I'm just going to pause there. And then I can add that little rotation. I'm rolling so that the ball moves away from my spine rather than into it. With this small ball, I can move it up and down. So I'm really hitting at one segment, one vertebra, and it's attaching muscles at a time. I'm going to do the other side. And this might be a minute, maybe 30 seconds. If I find something really interesting, this might be longer. I'm getting little interesting noises as I'm rolling over some knots. That happens. All right. That to me loosens up. If you get hip pain, knee pain, sometimes just doing that, rolling out the glutes and the low back, you'll feel a little better there too. Like your walk will feel easier. So that's where I start. Love it. Number 2, my mid back gets tight. And this is what makes my spine feel like it's 20 years younger again. So option one, foam roller. This is great if you've never done this before, if your spine is more delicate, right? I'm sitting back on this, almost like I'm in a pool lounger, right? Oh, pro tip, if you have hair, get it out of the way, because that does not feel good to roll over. I'm also wearing a really fitted shirt right now. I'm often already dressed for the day when I do this, so it's not going to go quite as smoothly. Just know that if you have something draping down, it's possible that it might get stuck under that roller and you'll have to just stop and pull it out and restart. My rib cage goes down to about here, right? It's also like just below the bra line, if you're familiar with that area. That's where I'm rolling. That's the bottom of where I'm going. And I'm going up to the top, to my shoulders. Support my neck. I'm going to hold my head with my hands, lift my butt up. And then I'm using my feet to push myself away from them. And then bring them back in. And if you're tight, you'll probably hear a little pop, pop, snap, snap. That's okay, as long as there's no pain with that. You can add a little side to side movement. You can also just let the butt rest, and then I take my head and shoulders back. Notice that my ribs are mostly staying in. I'm trying not to pop up off the roller because then I'm not getting any effect. I'm trying to hold them relatively still as I let the roller give me a little gentle spinal extension. This is great if you've been at a desk for any length of time and you're feeling that kind of hunched over posture. Is a great release. Now, and if you're really stiff, that's going to feel like a lot. If you are trying to get really specific about what segment of your spine you're going after, using something smaller will be the trick. I like this one. I kind of wish it was a little bit softer, but you see like where it's connected, it has this nice little groove, so I can put it on my spine without worry that it's actually on my spine, right? My bones in my spine are here, and this is sitting on those muscles on either side. The setup is the same, right? I'm starting it right about my bra line, mid-back area, and I'm making sure that I'm on the muscles, not on my bones themselves. Supporting my head with my hands, lifting my butt up, and rolling in and out. Because this is smaller, there's already more pressure there. But where the smaller one comes in handy is I can then start to move each little segment of my spine. So I'm going to start down low. Inhale. As I exhale, I'm trying to hold those ribs in, and I'm sending my chest back and then curling right back up. So it's not my head. That won't do anything. And I'm, again, trying to keep those ribs in so that it's really my spine moving, not that I'm just changing the shape of my body. And what you'll find is there might be some spots that move pretty easily. And then there's some that might be a little stuck. So just like having several people cooking Thanksgiving dinner makes it easier than one person doing it. The more segments of our spine that are moving, the less strain any one part of it has. So usually the place with pain is the one that is trying to do all the work. And we're trying to wake up the rest of our friends and have them join us. And that's it. That is what I do. I talked a lot, so it's a little bit longer than I might normally take. But I would say I usually do that in about 10 minutes, maybe 4 minutes in bed if I do those stretches. Get up with the balls, maybe a total of 5 minutes, 10 minutes at the most. So not a lot, but it's one of those things that I am almost like a massage. I'm releasing some of that held tension, both in my muscles and in the connective tissue system that holds them all together. And I'm getting a little mobility in my spine, so I'm ready to move for the day rather than feeling stuck and stiff. Let me know if you try them. Again, I'll put the links below for any of the stuff that I showed you. And I can't wait to hear what you think. Talk to you later.